It's 4 p.m. We're bringing developing news.
And the stories behind the headlines. This is Storycon. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Ed Lingao. Some stories we're watching this Friday, January 30. Senate President Tito Soto says he would support efforts to amend the 1987 Constitution. This after the Supreme Court upheld its ruling declaring the impeachment of VP Sara Duterte as unconstitutional. He stresses that Congress, not the Supreme Court, should decide on legislative and constitutional matters. Earlier, Soto said impeachment has become an impossible dream due to the ruling, adding that the decision is a sad day for constitutional law students and professors.
On the other hand, the legal team of Vice President Sara Duterte continues preparations for a possible new impeachment complaint against her. Duterte noted that these preparations have been ongoing since late 2023, and she says will continue throughout her term if necessary. House lawmakers said they will only address any new impeachment filing starting February 6, the earliest legal date for submission.
Hanggang ngayon, tutuloy-tuloy pa naman yung mga abogado and legal team, and nung nakaraang taon, bago mag-Christmas break, ay napag-usapan din namin yung paghahanda sa impeachment. Hindi lang ngayong taon na ito, dahil sigurado kapag hindi sila nakapag-file ngayong taon, susunod na taon at hanggang matapos ang aking termino ay ganun ang gagawin nila. Makapile sila ng kaso, impeachment man huli.
President Bongbong Marcos made his first public appearance since his diverticulitis diagnosis on Thursday night. This is during the ceremonial submission of the EDCOM-2 final report in Malacanang, where he also launched the National Education and Workforce Development Plan 2026 to 2035. On the same day, the President and First Lady Liza Arneta Marcos led the ceremonial handover of the ASEAN Business Advisory Council chairship at the palace. The chief executive also received United States Ambassador to the Philippines, Mary Kay Carlson, in a farewell call, marking the end of her diplomatic assignment. Meantime, Malacanang expects the National Bureau of Investigation to probe the circulation of a supposedly fake medical document detailing the president's health condition.
Senator Amy Marcos is set to be replaced as chair of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Senate President Tito Soto said Amy's stand on China issues had nothing to do with her removal as the panel's chair. He noted that Senate rules reserve key committees for majority bloc members.
When the majority met, the thinking is that a major committee like foreign relations should be chaired by a member of the majority. Eh nung una, hindi naman namin ginalaw yun, originally na kay Senator Amy Marcos yun. Hinayaan namin, thinking that later on, pwede naman pwede naman kami magkasama-sama. But apparently, things didn't work out that way. At mayroong mga importanteng mga treaties at saka agreements na nakapending doon na malaki ang concern ng mga members of majority. So, we discussed it and we decided that we should give it to a member of the majority.
Disaster. Malacanang says there will be no more cabinet shakeup. This comes amid concerns over the number of officials serving in acting capacity. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro said the president will submit the names of acting secretaries to the Commission on Appointments as soon as possible for confirmation. And among those serving in acting capacities are Finance Secretary Frederick Go, Budget Secretary Rolando Toledo, Transport Secretary DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon, Justice Secretary Frederick Vida, and Environment Secretary Popo Lotilla.
Natanong po natin ang Pangulo kanina. Wala na pong rigodon. At ang mga pangalan po ay isusumite sa Commission on Appointments as soon as possible. To the rigodon, sa ngayon wala po. Pero yung patungkol po kay DNR Secretary, tinitingnan po yan ng Pangulo. Titignan po muna kung ano po yung record sa ngayon. Kapag ka po napakita na po sa atin at naibigay po sa atin ng update, ibibigay ko po sa inyo agad. Nagkaroon na po ng pangatlo na pag-bypass sa kanyang appointment. So, tinitignan po yung records ngayon ng Pangulo at ng PMS at tignan po natin kung ano po ang magiging update tungkol dito.
And joining us today, our international man of mystery, Mr. Ronald Llamas. Bumati ka naman dyan.
Happy weekend, no? Ito si Hyena in sheep's clothing.
Awimbawe, awimbawe, awimbawe.
Ay,
Talagang kinanta mo talaga.
provocateur, hindi ako yung provocateur, ha? Baka,
Agent provocateur.
baka mapagalitan ako ni
Magsisig-
SFA, no?
Oo nga.
Oo, baka mapagalitan.
Stirring the pot again. Magsasegue na ako before we get in trouble. From the Philippine Star Editor-in-Chief, Ami Pamintuan. Hi, Ami.
Hi, happy weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Ay, Ami, long time no see.
Long time no see nga, oo.
Yun yung isa pang instigator ko kahapon. Grabe mong
Hyena in
instigator
sheep's
kahapon
clothing.
eh.
Talaga kahapon.
Oo.
Persona non grata nyo? No. Big fat no. No persona non grata.
Hindi yung personal
Sinabi na ni President.
Panakot lang yun. Oo, pangkwan lang yun. Political statement. Ginagawa yung
Hindi daw,
personal ng gata.
hindi daw pinatapos yung tanong ni Claire Castro. Basta sinabi daw agad, no.
Ginagawa lang yun, pangkwan. Political statement. Pero sa China, pag nag-criticize ka ron, personal ng gata ka lang agad. Diretso ka lang airport pa uwi.
Subukan natin kaya. Paliparin ka ng Hong Kong.
Parang meron kayong...
Hindi pa naman siya
Parang
na-declare.
meron kayong tagong galit sa akin.
Tapos naka-live Facebook ka.
Naalala ko, last time, pupunta ako Europe, nag-stop over ako sa Hong Kong, Katay. Ninenervous ako eh. Baka ma-rendition.
Kasi lalabas sa ano kaagad yun eh. It's all
Sa manifest.
online.
Si Albert Del Rosario, di ba noon pinalayas? Si Albert Del Rosario pinalayas sa Hong Kong.
Yung automated na ano na
Hindi,
immigration.
pero sila kasi, papunta talaga ng Hong Kong. Si Secretary Del Rosario. Ako naman, stop over lang.
Magta-transit lang, oh.
Hindi ka naman immigration na.
Hindi na.
Okay.
Transit.
Transit lang transit.
Before we started, we were having a off-cam debate about whether or not na-confirm na si Transport Secretary Giovanni Lopez. Na-confirm na ba, Ami? Because
Wala pang
because there's no
not sure, ha?
Usually,
There's no-
sabay-sabay yan eh.
there's no official news on it
We
yet.
haven't had any
Pero
confirmations.
most of the articles already call him Transport Secretary Giovanni Lopez.
Si kahit naman si Vincent, tawag.
Sabagay.
DPWH
Sabagay.
Secretary.
Oh.
We haven't heard
That's
any
true.
activity from the CA.
We haven't.
lately.
It's been quiet. And ang dami nga
Because they're busy with other
nag-aantay
things.
na
Alam ko,
ma-confirm.
Siyam yung to be confirmed.
To be confirmed. And what
Saka yung statement yung mahabang statement ni Claire Castro, no cabinet revamp for now.
For
Sa ngayon.
now.
what did you I know you have an opinion on that.
Baka doon gagawin yung revamp doon sa
Sa CA?
Commission on
Sa ngayon.
Appointment. Sasabihin nila, uy, hindi tinanggap. So, sasabihin ng Presidente,
Sa
sorry.
ngayon,
Di ba? Hindi sa kanya lang galing yung pagtanggal. Sa CA ngayon yung burden. Pwede yun.
You think so? That's a bit underhanded.
Hindi, ang sinasabi, ano ka ba? Saan kweba ka na naman? Saan kweba ka na naman ang galing?
Grabe, salpak
Hindi
talaga
naman
eh.
kailangan niyang padaanin sa CA. Hindi nga sinasabi sa tinatanggal dyan ng
Sabagay.
Hindi nga
Yes.
nababalitaan lang sa media yung pagtanggal sa kanila.
Si Lopez. Si Secretary Lopez ng DNR, doon kinatay sa CA.
Oo, kaya nga.
Gina Lopez.
Gina Lopez.
Oo,
You're talking
doon
about
sa
Gina
kinatay.
Lopez. Oo.
Hindi na siya pinagtanggol.
Si DSWD.
Si Erwin.
Hindi siya pinagtanggol?
Hindi si Erwin. Hindi si Erwin yung isa. Yung galing, yung kay Duterte. Doon di siya kinatay sa CA.
And si Perfect
Pero
Tayasay.
hindi naman ganyan sila
Former Foreign
Si
Affairs.
BBM hindi Hindi sasabihin sa'yo Hindi ba sabi ni ES Barsamin, hindi man ako nag-resign.
Oo.
Oh.
Hindi
Diba?
man lang sinasabi.
Mas matindi itong administrasyon na to if they want to get rid of you.
The day bago tinanggal si Bersamin, sabi niya, hindi ako aalis, hindi ako mag-resign, pero kinabukasan, tanggal siya.
Yes.
Diba?
Yes.
Pero hindi
pero
si
sabi niya,
BBM
hindi ako
ang kumausap
nag-resign.
sa kanya.
Oo.
Isang allegedly Taipan. Hindi ko alam kung sino yung
And
Taipan na yun.
we have our suspicions on
So,
who that
hindi nga
is.
siya tinanggal.
Hindi.
Hindi siya
Hindi daw siya
tinanggal.
nag-resign.
He was just asked to quietly go.
By somebody not from Malacanang.
Pero sabi nung
So he was persuaded.
Sabi nung katabi ko, hindi daw yun underhanded.
I I'm just saying, be a man and like fire
Yeah.
people face to face,
Pero
di
mo,
ba?
ayun, sexist pa yung kanyang stay. Be a man.
Di ba? Oo nga naman.
Be a man, di ba?
If you're gonna fire people, fire them face
Napaka-toxic
to
ng mga ano
face.
dito.
Napaka-toxic talaga. Toxic masculinity. Too much toxic masculinity.
Hintayin mo maging presidente ka bago maghamon, no?
Oo. Sabi mo, be a man. Ano?
Bakit? So
Kung ako, presidente, tapos cabinet secretary ko si Manny Mugato, sisipain ko yan palabas ng pintuan.
Gigisingin muna.
Literally.
ano naman kasi yung, I mean, look at the ES Bersamin case. What is the benefit of doing it underhandedly, right? It blew back on them pa, yung the fact that Bersamin came out afterwards saying, no, I didn't resign. Diba? So, that's what I'm saying. Diretso mo na. Just announce it. If you don't think someone's performing well or is, carrying out your mandate, then fire them.
In-announce
Straight
naman
up.
nila,
Because
di
you're
ba,
the
na
one who selected the
nag-resign?
guy.
You are entitled to give people a chance, right?
For how many years?
You don't
That,
know na, sa bagay.
3.5.
Pero a lot of these guys waiting for confirmation are new, by the way. Yung swimming.
Kuweba.
Swimming.
Nagkakabal ka. Lumalabas ng kuweba.
Mas malala nga yung
Living
pelikula
all these
story,
years,
di ba?
Singapore.
Where things actually work, no? Ano yun, Ami?
Di ba? Mas magulo pa yung kay Nicolas Torre, di ba?
Oh, yes.
Kung ano-ano yung sinabi.
Oh, yes. Exactly.
Hindi siya nag-resign.
Hanggang
Hindi
ngayon,
siya
magulo pa rin.
Hanggang ngayon, magulo pa rin.
Hanggang ngayon,
Ano talaga
magulo.
nangyari sa kanya eh?
Kaya ayaw sagutin si Reds,
Hindi,
eh.
siguro
Patibong daw, eh.
nag-resign na kasi may 4-star na si si General Nartates eh. Siguro nag-resign na. Baka may pinirmahan na si
Nag-resign or
General
nag-retire.
Torre.
Kasi pag nag-resign ka, wala kang benefits. Pag nag-retire ka, may
Nag-retire
benefits
siya.
ka.
Oo, nag-retire.
Actually, yun ang
Siguro
clincher
wala
dun
pa
eh.
siyang
Ano talaga?
pinipirmahan kaya hindi pa niya alam.
Wala alam.
Talaga,
Kailangan linawin.
Kasi malaki na, that's 7 million ha.
we tried to
Yeah, that's a
clarify
lot.
it with him, di ba?
And
Ay,
190,000 a month.
He didn't want to talk.
Ang
Tapos
laki ng
ito kasi
ng laki ng
Storycon,
pension ng
pinapainan si General
four-star.
Oo
Torre.
nga naman. Mga patibong na lang mga patibong.
Patibong.
Kayo, di ko nga alam yung sabihin na pati.
Trap! Anak na.
Tama nangyari sa presidente,
Trap,
naging
it's a trap.
patibongbong Marcos.
Corny.
Corny talaga.
Patibong-bong.
Corny. But, okay kasi, you're stirring the pot.
Oo na naman yan.
Ayaw na nga niya magsalita, di ba?
sila
But ano ba yung nakuha natin from that? We did take away na parang there's still some tension there.
Ang
Kasi,
takeaway, tama. Ang takeaway doon, dahil ayaw niya magsalita,
Oo, yun na yung
ibig sabihin, maraming unresolved issue. Paano kung resolved na yan? Magsasalita siya.
oo, of course.
Ano ba naman?
of course.
Paliwanag niya, ito yung nangyari, tapos na. Ganun. Ayaw niya magsalita. Ibig sabihin,
May issues pa rin. Kahit na the day before, si Sec John Vic told us na, oh no, I'm okay with him. Pero clearly may unresolved issues there.
Saka nagbigay pa ng palugit si John Vic na dapat, when he took his oath, dapat considered resigned na siya, which means na wala na siyang benefits at all. But,
mukhang
out of
nilinaw
the
eh.
goodness of their heart, pwede pa raw ihabol. Basta lang bumitaw siya na maayos.
o di may utang na
O
loob
mag-retire
pa.
siya na maayos.
May utang
You
na loob pa
know,
siya.
Mag-retire na maayos.
I just
Palay.
realized there is a loophole in that, which is, what if he was seconded? Secondment is allowed, right, in the law
Yun nga,
for government officials.
yun ang
Paano kung
That's his
sinikond
position.
lang siya with both parties' agreement? Then that means he doesn't have to forfeit his retirement,
Yun
di
yung
ba?
kanyang paliwanag.
Oo.
Seconded lang daw siya.
Sa MMDA.
Oo. Ang sabi nila, hindi. Iba yung aming pagkakaunawa.
O yun, dun yung
Dun yung
problema.
conflict.
Dun yung conflict and miscommunication.
Also, yung secondment kasi usually that's up to a certain level lang of authority. Kasi general manager ka ng MMDA. Parang na-seconded ka lang sa...
Pero dahil four-star na si Nartaes, tapos na yung issue. Diba?
Oo nga.
Kayo na lang,
Sabagay.
kayo na lang
Kaya
ang
may bago
nag-iintriga.
ng kaaway si Torre. DOTR naman.
DOTR,
Ayaw
bakit?
daw ng Department of Transportation yung proposal niya na yung maraming sakay na papayagan sa busway.
What did he call it?
Ayan,
Carpooling.
ina-oppose siya ng
Maximum passenger, high volume
Department of
passengers.
Transportation.
Oh, yung mga high volume passengers will be allowed to pass through bus lanes.
Pababayaan sa busway.
Oo.
Ayaw ng Department of Transportation.
Di ba sa ibang bansa ginagawa na sa ganyan? Bibili sila ng mga dummy. Tapos
Ginawa yan dito sa atin din.
Nakakaisip na.
Hindi. Ito, nilalagay nila sa
Ginawa din
front
yan
seat
dito
at sa
sa
back
atin.
seat para sa unang tingin, mukhang may tao, marami silang... Kasi,
Are you referring to Congress o Senate?
iba naman.
Dami.
Iba naman daw.
Ghost passenger.
Di ba kasi,
Fake
kung tinted
passenger.
ka, titingnan ng enforcer dyan,
Ginawa
ilan ba
din
yung
yan sa
silhouette
atin, Ed.
dun sa ano?
Ginawa din yan sa atin noon.
Ginawa na sa atin yun?
Ginawa
Oh,
yun
nung
natin.
nag-uumpisa yung mga traffic coding schemes.
Ginawa yun, yung maximum.
Ginawa din yan.
Ayaw nga pala, no? May nagbenta pa ng dummies.
Balita din yan eh. Nagkaroon ng mga ganun.
Pero ang dami ngayon sa Lazada.
Ano?
Mga dummies.
Iba naman ata iniisip mo
Dami,
eh.
oo.
Hindi.
Iba iniisip mo eh.
nagbebenta.
Hindi.
Okay, let's just change the topic.
Ricardo, sige, let's
end
move
of,
on.
end of January na. It's the last working day of January. Ano yung takeaway mo? Of what can you
Ayan,
tell us
tinanong
about
ko kanina
how?
dyan.
What can you tell us about how the rest of the year is going to pan out
Well,
based on what
February
happened?
February is
Nagpakita na yung
going to be
presidente.
very, very busy.
Diba?
Oh.
Nagpakita na yung presidente after maraming chismis. So, kung na siya. Oo.
Which is a good thing, di ba?
Depende kung nasaan ka doon sa political fence.
Sabagay.
But clearly, February is going to be very, very busy. You possibly would have 2 impeachment complaints going through the lower chamber, and then you have
Yes.
the ICC confirmation of charges.
Yes.
on
That's a whole
the
week,
3rd.
Yung confirmation of charges
Oo.
hearing.
Tapos meron ka EDSA,
May EDSA ka pa.
22 to 25.
And so, but what's happening
That's the
during the EDSA
40th,
commemoration?
40th
40th
year anniversary.
40th year.
Wow, 40
Oh,
years.
so they're planning it to be a big event. Tapos nangyayari yan sa konteksto nung massive, unprecedented corruption
Corruption.
scandal.
Corruption.
Diba? So, ano yung mangyayari sa February? Maliban pa sa Valentine.
Valentine's.
Valentine. Sabi na nga ba yung sasabihin eh.
Sabi na, I
Valentine.
should not have given him that opening eh.
Yun yung pinakamahalaga.
Yun ang pinaka-busy.
Saturday pa naman.
Saturday ba? Alam na
Oo,
nyo.
Saturday. No, because my
Sinek
daughter's
nyo.
birthday is near. So alam ko na.
Pag
I don't
Valentine,
believe
that.
doon lang ako sa farm ko, nagbabasa.
Baka Valentine yan. May lalabas ulit what the world needs now is love.
Oo. Ang
Yan.
problema,
Ano na nangyari?
Ami naman.
Ano na nangyari
Ami,
doon?
nag-iisa na lang nga siya. Ikaw talaga.
binabalatan pa ni Ami,
Hindi.
nag-iisa na lang nga, malungkot na nga
Hindi
eh.
ba sabi by February 1,
Wala, mga
wala
Philippine
na.
star
Hanggang
talaga,
ngayon,
oh.
hindi pa natin alam kung ano mangyayari.
Oo nga, oo nga. Well,
Oh. Di ba?
okay. Well,
Hindi natin
Hoy,
alam.
salamat nga pala.
we are...
Salamat nga pala kay Gretchen, no? Dinala tayo ng calamansi juice.
Is that calamansi juice?
Calamansi
Patikman
juice.
mo.
But let's
Let's begin our guest.
segue now and bring in our first guest this afternoon. We are talking to Manila 3rd District Representative Congressman Joel Chua. He's the chairman of the House Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability and also a member of the House Justice Committee. Welcome back to Storycon, Congressman Chua.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Thank you for
Hi,
having me.
Congressman.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thanks. I guess, the logical first place to start is to ask for your reaction on the Supreme Court's decision yesterday, basically denying with finality the House's motion for reconsideration on the case of Vice President Sara Duterte's impeachment. What did you think, sir?
Well, of course, I was saddened by the decision of the Supreme Court, although I do not agree with that decision. But of course, we have to respect the decision of the Supreme Court.
Congressman, agree ba kayo sa statement ni Senate President Tito Soto na this makes impeachment an impossible dream at saka ito ay clearly judicial legislation? Pag walang respeto sa co-equal branch ng gobyerno, etc., etc. Nag-agree ba kayo kay Senate President Tito Soto, Congressman?
Ako naman po kasi, ako po naniniwala po no, na ito naman pong impeachment. Posible pa rin naman po. Bagamat now it becomes more challenging dahil medyo may mga dinagdag na parameters. And in fact, I would agree also no na may mga
Nawala po
We
siya.
lost you. Can you hear us, sir?
Congressman.
I think we lost him.
Hi,
Yeah,
Congressman.
We'll try to get
I think
him
he
back.
hung up on you.
Oo, nawala.
Grabe ka naman. We'll try to get him back.
Talagang, she always thinks the worst of me.
joke lang, joke lang. We're just kidding around, by the way.
Actually,
pero-
pag nagjo-joke siya, mas seryoso siya. Tingin ko lang.
Bakit yung joke mo din naman, masakit.
O masakit daw ang joke mo.
Pag seryoso siya, nagjo-joke siya. Pero pag nagjo-joke siya, seryoso siya.
Itong dalawang to. Well, anyway, sige, we'll try to get Congressman Joe Chu back. Ang dami pwede pag-usapan eh. Among other things kasi, we've already read several announcements from yesterday pa that the House will have to draw up or revise its guidelines on rules on impeachment. Oh.
Ang sabi ni Atty. Sarmiento, the House has to be creative. Oh,
Ayun.
Hi, sir.
He's back.
Sir, can you hear us? Sorry, sir, naputol.
Yes, clear po, clear.
Yes, sir. Sir, kasi we've already been hearing a lot of discussion about the need to redraft or amend the rules of impeachment of the lower chamber. Kasi, of course, these were basically drafted way back in 15th Congress pa the ones that are applicable now What changes or amendments do you see or foresee that are necessary to move things forward?
Well, for one, yung definition ng calendar day. Because as we can see, doon po sa kanilang desisyon, gumawa po sila ng sariling definition sa 10 session days ng Congress. Before, pag sinabi mong one session day, for example, ngayon po, medyo mahaba po yung agenda at tinuloy po to in the next day, considered as one session day yun. Pag nagkaroon lamang ng recess. Pero based dun sa Supreme Court ruling, kahit naman tinuloy mo, one session day ngayon, the following day, another session day, which is not usual. Kasi kahit naman po sa iba, gano'n naman po yun
Ang sabi ng Korte Suprema, it's calendar day with the session. Yun ang kanilang bagong definition.
Tama po. Tapos pangalawa, I think hindi lamang po yung rules ng House ang dapat natin tignan na kailangan amyendahan. Baka mamaya, pati po yung ating saligang batas, kailangan na rin pong amyendahan because of this decision.
Yun nga Kong, ang sabi ni Tito Soto, ni Senate President. Baka kinakailangan pagguhin yung konstitusyon.
Kasi kung titingnan po ninyo dun sa ating saligang batas, maliwanag yung initiated Dalawa lamang po yan when you say initiated. One, siyempre kailangan may filing. And two, kailangan yung House action. When you say House action, it refers to the referral to the Committee on Justice, number one. Or another one is yung pag-submit po ng one-third vote doon po sa plenaryo. But with this latest decision, nagdagdag po sila ng another set. Nagkaroon na po dito ng deemed initiated. Ibig sabihin, pag hindi inaksyonan ng House within 10 session day, deemed initiated na rin. Nawala naman po sa ating saligang batas.
Congressman, hindi ko nabasa yung ruling. Pero sabi ni Congressman Ridon, actually yung pangalawang sagot ng sa MR ninyo, medyo lumuwag naman daw yung mga stringent rules ng Supreme Court. Can you expound on that? Ano po yung medyo lumuwag naman na mga kondisyon na sinet nila for impeachment? Yun ang sabi ni Congressman Redon at sabi niya, you can actually work around those provisions na medyo niluwagan daw.
Mas maluwag naman din talaga to kung titingnan ninyo Pero kagaya nga po na sinasabi ko, wala rin po itong mga ibang mga nilagay dito doon sa kasalukuyang rules at saka doon sa ating saligang batas. In fact, pati nga po yung rules na kailangan lahat bigyan ng kopya. Opo, lahat dapat bigyan ng kopya at saka complete with evidence. Wala rin po yan doon sa ating saligang batas. Wala rin po yan doon sa House rules. Kasi po, dati po talaga mas wide yung latitude doon sa dating guidelines or sa rules, maski sa Constitution. Kasi po, ang purpose po nito, sinasabi nga po, inaatasan ng House na kayong gumawa ng sarili ninyong rules. Dahil, kayo may exclusive power Pero with this latest decision ng Supreme Court, parang medyo sila po ang naglagay ng ng mga rules, ng parameters na dapat daw namin sundin.
Pero Congressman, with some nuancing, hindi ba pwedeng kasi bawat impeachment naman you actually craft additional or amended rules depende sa circumstances dun sa tao na ini-impeach eh. Hindi ba pwedeng ayusin ng ganon? Kasi nasabi ni Attorney Sarmiento, well, the House can be creative para mariretain nyo pa rin yung power nyo, exclusive power nyo to initiate an impeachment.
Ang House. Ang House.
Kaya nga,
pero dito po, hindi naman House ang gumawa eh. Pero dito po, hindi na po House ang gumawa nito, Supreme Court.
Ibig ko sabihin, hindi ba makokorek yan with some nuancing sa mga rules ninyo?
But alam
Just
po
to
natin na
assert your authority.
Ang decision po kasi ng Supreme Court is always part of the law of the land.
Oo nga.
Yes. Even when the
Pero
Supreme
may
Court,
enhance pa naman yun eh.
di ba Kong,
Hindi
even when the
pwede, hindi
Supreme
kaya.
Court makes a mistake, the mistake becomes law.
Oo.
Tama po kayo. Kaya nga, otherwise, kung lalabanan po natin yan, magkakaroon tayo ng constitutional crisis.
Hindi naman lalabanan,
makikipagmatigasan tayo
kundi
sa Supreme
lalagyan ng
Court.
konting
Ang tanong ko,
lalagyan ng
Kong,
konting
halimbawa
mga
ng alam po eh.
provision.
ang tanong ko
halimbawa
kung
ng alam
yung
po doon
conduct
sa-
ng Congress vis-a-vis sa impeachment. Early this month, sabi ni Ronnie Puno, Congressman Ronnie Puno, wala na daw saysay ang impeachment. Hindi na daw interesado ang mga congressmen. At malamang ay hanggang Justice Committee na lang daw yung impeachment na yan. Yan ba yung sentimento ng karamihan sa mga kongresista? Yung sinabi ni Congressman Puno?
Well, siguro, ang sinasabi po ni Congressman Puno kasi, unang-una, let's face it, iba na po yung composition ng 20th Congress sa 19th Congress. Even the House leadership, iba po. Iba na po ang composition ngayon. Plus the fact na marami po sa ating mga kasama sa Kamara ay nakatingin na rin sa 2028 national election. So yun, medyo iba po yun. Iba pong, siyempre, ibang anggulo rin po yan. So, yan, kumbaga, siguro, ang binabanggit po niya, from the political side, yun ang tinitignan po niya.
Exactly, Kong. Ibig sabihin, ang tanong ko lang uli, Kong, may ganyan bang sentimiento sa maraming kongresista?
May mga po ngayon, may mga nag-aalangan na po. Kasi ngayon makikita mo, iba rin talaga yung mga composition ngayon. So nawala na rin yung mga dating masasabi po natin na naging original part ng kagaya po ng mga miyembro ng Quadcom. Minsan lang alam po natira. Si Congressman Benny na lang po. Wala na po yung mga talagang veterano dyan.
Namatay pa si Kong Akop.
Namatay pa po si Kong Akop.
Diretsuin ko lang, sir. That means come February 6, and that's already next week, hindi rin naman sigurado that there will be another impeachment complaint filed against the Vice President.
Well, of course, pwede rin naman po talagang may mag-file ng impeachment complaint dahil nandiyan naman po yung marami naman po nagpapahiwatig, mga civil society, so mga makabayan block, so forth and so on. Of course, we cannot prevent them from filing
Sorry,
the impeachment
I should be
complaint.
clear. Not filed, but endorsed to Congress.
Marami pong mag-i-endorse. Yung mga makabayan po, nagsalita na po sila na sila po mag-i-endorse.
Pero
So,
sir,
may mga members po ng mga makabayan dyan. So, wala naman po hindi naman po natin mapipigil yan. But, for the impeachment complaint, to elevate to another status, like for example, kung ito'y aabot sa plenaryo, that's another matter.
Pero sir, your assessment of the temperature now and the temper in the lower chamber, given all the elements that you talked about a while ago, na may mga nag-aalanganin na, there are some congressmen who are looking at 2028 and so on down the line. Given all these elements, do you think there's lesser of a chance of an impeachment complaint moving forward in the plenary versus Sara Duterte?
siguro, kasi ang maganda lamang dito, no, yung sa decision po ng Supreme Court, purely technical, not based on
Not the merits.
substance. Opo. So siguro pag nailatag po to sa Committee on Justice at nakita naman po ng karamihan ng congressman na talaga namang substantial to, baka dito magbago po yung isip. That is our constitutional duty.
Sir, tapos well, of course we're not lawyers pero am I getting this right? Now there were some reversals in the decision yesterday of the Supreme Court compared to the July decision, the original decision.
Meron daw eh.
Like for example, yung I understand ng July decision, parang the Supreme Court said that pasok sa 10 session days yung first 3 impeachment complaints. Pero yesterday's decision, clearly it said na dapat by the 14th of January na iakyat na.
In short, they changed the definition of
Oo.
session days.
Oh. So between the original decision and their affirmation of that decision, nagbago rin ba
Pagbabago.
yung kanilang pananaw doon sa 10 session days?
Well, mas mahaba po nilang maramang mas mahaba po nila na i-discuss yung MR, and because of the reaction of mga legal experts po from the first decision of the Supreme Court, baka mas na-enlighten po sila because there were, if I remember it correctly, may mga mga sinasabi po sila doon, they base it on the newspaper report na sinabi daw sa ABS-CBN, minilabas daw na
Walang plenary.
Na hindi umabot sa plenary.
na walang plenary. But alam naman po natin na hindi naman po totoo nangyari yun. Dapat they should have based it dun sa sa minutes po ng Congress. So, yun po, maraming mas marami po talagang loopholes nung una as compared sa ngayon.
Congressman, yung sentimiento ng House, meron bang impact yung ongoing investigation sa flood control corruption, saka yung sa budget? Kasi maraming ini-implicate ng mga congressmen, di ba? At least 67 daw.
Well, hindi ko masasagot yan kasi iba-iba naman ng hindi pa kami nagkakausap dahil kahapon pa lamang ito lumabas. Yung sa impeachment naman ng presidente nung last week lang. So,
Yes.
hindi naman masyado na pag-uusapan pa yan. Kaya yun sa akin lang po sinasabi ko lamang po is yung political reality, which is yung 2028 national election.
Tungkol doon sa nire-raise kanina ni Reg, tingin ko 100% sure may magsasampa ng kaso kay Vice President Sara.
The question is whether or not it will progress.
Yeah, 100% sure may mag-endorse.
Aabot ba sa plenary?
Hindi na yan katulad nung last impeachment na aabot ng more than 250 signatories. No? Pero 104, 105 pa rin yung one-third. Theoretically, that's doable. Kung yun yung kailangan. Kaya may possibility na lumampas pa rin ng Justice Committee at umabot sa floor. At least yung kay Vice President.
But Congressman Chua, tell us what are your conversations like right now sa Justice Committee? Nakapag-meet na ba kayo? What are you planning to do about this new Supreme Court ruling that, as you said, sets down the new precedent? May discussion ba over the 7 new guidelines that they added onto the impeachment process?
We have yet to discuss about it because our first committee hearing will be on Monday. So that will be the first time that the members of the Committee on Justice will meet. So malamang, doon pa lamang po mapag-uusapan ito.
So you didn't message each other as soon as the Supreme Court decision came out?
Wala pa po because sa right now, akin po kahapon nung natanggap ko po ito, busy po ako sa district obligation ko umiikot po ako sa distrito ko
Kong, ang tanong ko, Kong, ito bang anti-dynasty bill, no? Kung halimbawa ay magkakaroon ng compromise bill, ay ito ba ay makaka-apekto sa botohan diyan sa impeachment either ng presidente o ng vice president?
To to be honest with you, yung anti-dynasty bill kasi parang iba-ibang version eh. Iba-iba rin ng mga sinasalang nila eh. So, hindi ko pa po alam, hindi ko pa po masasagot yan.
Congressman, sa tingin nyo, kailangan i-prioritize yung, kasi ngayon lang magkakasabay na impeachment ng President and Vice President eh. Mas maraming trabaho yung Presidente. Sa tingin nyo po, kailangan i-prioritize muna yon?
Yung sa presidente po.
Oo, yung sa Presidente.
Yung sa presidente po, sa Lunes po, asalang na po sa Committee on Justice eh.
Oo.
So, yung sa
Okay.
vice-presidente, wala pa naman po February 6 at wala pa po kaming natatanggap na impeachment complaint against the vice president. Except for this latest decision of the Supreme Court.
So talagang mauuna yung along the yung sa proseso, mas mauuna talaga yung sa Presidente ngayon.
Yes, tama po kayo dyan.
Okay.
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 Okay, we'll leave that there, but thank you so much for talking to us. We'll call you back in, Congressman, after you guys have met, after the Justice Committee has convened. But for now, thank you so much for making time for us. That was Congressman Joel Chua.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Salamat
you,
po.
Maraming salamat din
Congressman.
po. Salamat din po. Thank you po.
Okay. Bok, we're going to a gap, I think.
You are watching Storycon on One News. Just need to take a very quick break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us.
This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group.
got developing news in the stories behind the headlines. Welcome back to Storycon, the Story Conference. I'm Ed Lingao.
And I'm Regina Lay, still with us. I'm Bentuan of the Philippine Star, and Ronald Llamas, a resident political pundit.
Wait, Ronald, ang tingin mo dun sa Sa decision kapon, ikaw ba'y nagimbal?
Nagimbal.
Ang gano'n, yung nagimbal. So unexpected, gano'n, nagimbal. Diba?
Mali ko, baka umaasa ka na yung unanimous decision ng July 2025, biglang magbabago.
Ano kala mo sa akin yung katabi ko?
Sino siya? You gotta hold out hope for some things, you know? Ikaw talaga, napaka-cynical mo naman.
Tingin na lang ako sa
Tingin sila.
ceiling.
Naisip ko naman, when presented
Last year
with...
pa sinasabi ni Ronald na tapos na yung MR.
na decisionan na.
Kailangan ng petsa.
Bumibuelo lang ng
Hindi, saka pasalam na kasi yung masasalang na yung impeachment, kaya dapat meron na silang desisyon sa MR. Magmumukha naman silang...
Mukhang hinabol nga tuloy eh.
Oo, magmumukha naman silang olat nun.
You know what? I like the suggestion you made. I think last year ba yun? Yung sabi mo, there is a way to soft compromise, kumbaga. You keep the decision, you maintain the decision on the impeachment, pero bawasan mo yung guidelines, which would have been a reasonable way to go. Because right now,
Solomonic.
ang issue kasi is they made it so hard to impeach officials, right?
In a way, nagbawas sila. Kasi for example, if you proceed with the second method of impeachment, which is the one-third
Voting of the House.
voting of the House, hindi mo na kailangang yung idaan sa Justice Committee. Yung
may
buong
mga
proseso.
binawas nga daw sila, yun ang sinasabi ni Congressman Ridon.
Well, one of the ones in contention pa rin is yung you have to present the articles of evidence to the defendant and give them a reasonable time to respond.
Which isn't the role of the
ginagawa dun sa trial.
Congress.
Exactly, sa trial na yun dapat di ba?
Pero pinakamahalaga doon kasi yung prospective Paano ka gagawa ng batas na ngayon mo i-implement? Parang retroactive. Diba?
Lahat naman dapat prospective
Yes,
in the future.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the Supreme Court justices should be the first to know that. Diba?
So
can Congress draft a new set of rules on impeachment now that there's already an impeachment case referred to the Justice
well,
Committee?
sabi nga ni Atty. Sarmiento, they can
Be
be more
creative.
Be creative.
No? Or they impeach the chief justices.
As proposed by Ami Pamintuan.
Yan ang sinasabi ko na mag-testing. Hindi kasi that's self-serving. Di ba sinabi ko na yun eh? Hindi lang naman ako nagsasabi nun. Because the Supreme Court justices are impeachable officials. Kaya yan, it covers them. Di ba?
But Bok, you're looking at
So you are
13
protecting
justices
yourself.
who
And
voted in this
considering
case.
our history na marami nang na-impeach na or na-attempt na i-impeach na justices based on dapat titingnan natin yung context na yon dyan sa mga rules na nilabas nila to protect themselves.
Yes.
Diba? Hindi lang naman ako nagsasabi ng pati mga legal groups.
Yes.
Nakikiano, hindi naman ako abogado eh.
maybe
Nag-cover lang ako dati ng Jokra, ng justice.
But something has to
Kaya
give
lang, yun.
something has to give.
Something has to give. Hindi pwedeng lahat ay stepping on eggs, di ba? Tapos
Kaya
masisira
kung
yung
ganyan,
ating
di-testingin nyo,
institusyon.
mag-testing kayo, kahit sino dyan. Wala naman akong binabanggit na justice.
Pero lang sa si Chief Justice,
Makita natin.
yung ponente.
Para lang makita natin, no? Para ma-testing lang. Kasi wala sa constitution yung ginawa nila, di tingnan natin.
Correct. Which,
Although hindi lang ako nagsasabi niya na yung ibang legal groups, yun ang sinasabi nila na baka kailangan ng test case.
Sabi nga ni Rene
yun.
Sarmiento, this emasculates the
tool of
constitutional
impeachment.
weapon of impeachment as a tool of
Accountability.
exacting accountability.
Correct.
Because that is the one
Diba,
tool that people
Mas
have.
madaling gawin yung test case kaysa mag-amend ng constitution at this point, lalong gugulo tong bansa natin.
Besides, who
Diba?
amends the Constitution in the last 2 years?
Pero imagine mo kung
Oh.
suspect yung Supreme Court, kung suspect siya in terms of defending the Constitution. Dahil yun yung primary role ng Supreme Court,
Yun na
to
nga.
defend the Constitution.
So
Kaya nga.
what has happened here?
Kaya mas-
Are we saying that this is a politicized decision?
Ang dami mo nilabag Di ba? Yung respeto sa co-equal branch. Di ba? Yung prospective
Kaya nga.
decisions. Di ba? Yung hindi mo pwedeng baguhin ang Constitution except through a plebiscite. No? Ang daming ang daming dangerous minefields dito eh.
And yet, today, we have a House of Representatives that is willing to acquiesce to what the Supreme Court has said, right? Pag nakausap natin sila, for example, Congresswoman Luistro, who is the chair of the House Justice Committee, she said, well, we'll wait for the Supreme Court decision and abide by it. Although a lot of them clearly think that it's wrong and they disagree with it.
Wala na magagawa.
You have basically what I'm saying is you have an H-Rep who is subservient to the Supreme Court. When in fact, as Ronald pointed out, they should be co-equal branches of government.
At saka at the very least, i-correct mo yung sarili mo. Yung kinukot mo kasi na ABS-CBN, sila mismo sinabi na mali yung inyong nakuha sa amin. Na nagkaroon ng plenary vote. Na sinasabi, ini-invoke nyo kami, na sinabi daw namin na wala. So, yung mga ganun ba, ng mga maliliit na bagay?
Pero na-correct naman yata sa MR
Hindi
decision.
maliit na bagay yun, ha?
Di ba na-correct din sa MR decision?
Hindi, tahimik sila ron. Parang silent.
Kaya nga, anong gagawin nila? Baka iniisip nila to get creative about it. Kasi
Or makinig sila kay
pwede pa rin
Ami.
naman nilang invoke yung power nila under the Constitution na sila pa rin, sa kanila mag-emanate, nasa kanila yung power of impeachment, and then they will craft their own rules.
But this is what I'm saying, Ami, yesterday, which is the illusion has been shattered. So what this exercise has told us is the Supreme Court can step in at any time whenever someone makes a complaint. They can interfere in the internal processes of the House, right?
Yan ang problema. Paano ko ini-impeach mo as Supreme Court Justice?
And change the rules. Dahil
change the rules
ang
and
role, ang role ng Supreme Court is to interpret
the law,
the law,
the Constitution.
not to change it. Dito, tumawid sila eh.
Kaya nga, nagdagdag sila ng kung ano-ano ron.
Tapos
And
baka
make
yung
everything
Congress,
harder,
makinig pa
no?
kay Ami.
Kahapon pa yan the lobby for...
Kung makinig yung Congress kay Ami, di ba?
Sige.
Nagkasubukan.
Testing
ito
lang
na
naman
talaga.
eh.
This is
Because
the-
of it, it's simpler than charter change.
And then also, as Attorney Sarmiento was pointing out yesterday, this now supersedes Francisco versus House, Gutierrez versus House.
Yes.
Ito na yung bagong jurisprudence.
Well, it adds to Francisco.
It adds, pero yung...
Kasi yung Francisco decision still stands in the sense na it still is initiated by way of referral to the Justice Committee. That's the first method. The second and third method, nagdag ng Korte Suprema in its decision yesterday. Si retired Justice Ascuna posted yesterday.
yes, I saw that.
Dun sa last two graphs niya, sabi niya, in my humble opinion, the articles approved on February 5, which is the fourth article of impeachment, ito yung pinasa ng more than one-third of Congress, were not yet barred by the inaction of the three earlier complaints because the time frame for referring them to the committee had not yet lapsed if we interpret session days as understood by the House. So he's saying, mas importante yung interpretation ng House ng session days. It is the interpretation of the House that prevails because it is the body textually given by the Constitution the sole power of impeachment and to adopt its implementing rules.
Pero binayolate nga yun eh. Di ba?
This power is in fact what is known as a constituent power.
Kaya nga.
Binayolate nga yun. Kaya ang tanong, ano ngayon ang gagawin? Di ba? Halimbawa, may ganung violation ng constitutional mandate ng House. Anong gagawin mo ngayon?
Sabi nga ni Ami,
Test case.
Yan,
Wala
yan.
naman ako inaaway doon.
And
Test case lang.
the other recourse, as Attorney Sarmiento told us yesterday, is the public should make themselves heard. All the law deans, law professors, they should make themselves heard at this time.
Yeah.
Because the power of government lies with
the people!
The people.
Talaga.
ikaw, tao.
Ganun ba?
Biyernes na nga.
Ayoko lang nalaman niya na.
Kaya
ito si-
oh,
si-
ye of little faith.
Ito talaga si Principal, revolutionary government ang ina-advocate.
Hindi naman revolutionary, but I'm just saying, we have
Kung
more...
dadalhin mo yan sa logical conclusion, ang direction niyan
We
ay
have more...
Nasa logical
No, not necessarily. We have more agency than we think is all that I'm trying to say here. People feel hopeless.
Yeah, right.
The ones, we've talked to some lawyers, people that we know that teach consti law, and, they have the same opinion as Attorney Sarmiento, but kaya lang, they feel helpless to do something about it. Right? And that's all I'm saying.
Noon pa, nagsalita na IDP
they
dyan.
will quibble over everything.
Mhm.
Diba? Oo.
But you notice, lahat sila, whether it's Atty. Sarmiento or si Justice Adolf, they'll say, we disagree, but we respect the decision of the Supreme Court and we abide by
It is the final arbiter of the law. Kaya lang...
Di ba the people?
No, that's not right. No. The power of Congress comes from the people. It's not, they don't arbitrate the law, right? Kaya lang, there's a lot of...
Bigyan mo ng pala, naghuhukay na siya eh.
Lumulubog eh, no?
Lumulubog sa kumunoy.
Lumulubog eh.
Alam mo ka ng kumunoy.
No, alam mo, masaya sa kuweba. It's a very peaceful place. Doon na lang.
Babalik ulit yan mamaya.
Ay, goodbye na tayo. Weekend na tayo.
Okay, that's all we have for today. Thank you for joining Storycon. Ami Pomidon, Editor-in-Chief of the Philippine Star, Ronald Llamas, our resident political heckler. Join us again Monday at 4 p.m. for Storycon. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Ed Lingao, kapatid. We are One News, all sides, all the time.
This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group.